Do you feel the vibes?
Hey YouTube, welcome back to Love for Crypto. I've got an absolutely unbelievable segment to show you from Brad Garlinghouse and what he said at the Finance 2020 Summit. I'm just going to leave no time fucking about. I'm just going to put the slide on right now and I'll put my opinion on straight after it.
I think the value of any digital asset is going to be derived by the utility that it creates. And so I think there's a lot of hype in this space, and I think as the hype and reality come into equilibrium, those markets will be less volatile. And I think what we're seeing today, it's a very nascent market, so there's a lot of volatility. I don't know how to predict the price of XRP. I wouldn't dare try. We're one player in the XRP ecosystem, but there's other players as well. And so I think as we do things that enhance the utility of XRP, we'll continue to see that ecosystem grow and be healthier and healthier.
Do you have an outlook or an aspiration or ambition as to how many institutions you hope will be using this token to facilitate these real-world transactions by, say, the end of the year or even the end of next year?
Well, I've publicly stated that by the end of this year, I have every confidence that major banks will use XRapid as a liquidity tool this calendar year. By the end of next year, I would certainly hope that we would see, in the order of magnitude, dozens. But, we also need to continue to grow that ecosystem, grow the liquidity. And it all comes back to, if we're solving a real problem for real customers, there's so many different examples in this space. There's ICOs where I don't really understand the problem the token is solving. And so those are ones where I'm very skeptical about what the future of that value looks like.
Right now, by market capitalization, XRP is the third largest token on the market, behind Ethereum, behind Bitcoin. Do you believe that it has the ability to displace both of those as the largest, given the belief you have in its utility?
Well, I don't really think about it as one versus the other. I mean, it's actually unfortunate, I think. There's some people in the crypto space, the blockchain space, for them it's almost a holy war of one versus the other. I don't look at that at all. I think that what we're seeing is the overall growth of this space, and there are going to be many winners. And I've been publicly shared that I'm long Bitcoin. I'm long Bitcoin Cash. And I think there will continue to be many boats that rise as the sea rises around the blockchain space overall.
Talk to me about how you actually see Bitcoin panning out. We've had, for example, Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Twitter, says he believes that this could be a global currency in about 10 years. And we know Bitcoin at the moment doesn't act like a currency. It's high transaction times, expensive, it's volatile. So what does Bitcoin's role be in the future? Does it have a role?
I think Bitcoin will have a role. I think it's not going to be the panacea that people once thought it would be, where it would solve all of these different kinds of problems. And instead, you're seeing specializations of different kinds of ledgers, different kinds of blockchains. The Bitcoin blockchain is quite slow, and originally people thought it might solve a payments problem. But when you have an asset like XRP that's 1,000 times faster and 1,000 times cheaper on a per transaction basis, Bitcoin can't really compete on that level. An XRP transaction costs fractions of a penny and it settles in 3 seconds. Comparatively, you have Bitcoin taking, 45 minutes, sometimes hours to settle a transaction, and it can take, the cost can be $3 to $30. So that might be cheaper than the alternative in today's banking system, but it's not really an internet of value, a true step forward in how we can allow value to move the way information moves today.
So what do you see Bitcoin being then in the ecosystem? Is it a store of value or not?
I think it is a store of value.
Right.
We as a world have decided it's a store of value to the tune of about $130 billion. I'm not sure the current market cap, but that's a store of value. It's hard to argue that.
So, as you can see, absolute fucking music to the ears, that. It's not that I've ever had any doubt in it. Not one little bit of doubt whatsoever through this entire journey for me and Ripple. But yeah, this is straight from the cat's tongue, this. Brad Garlinghouse stating, we already knew this anyway, that we'll see banks using XRapid, XRP by the end of this year. But what a way to finish it off by saying dozens by 2019. We could be talking 40, 50 banks. It's unreal. Like I say, it's just nice to see all the pieces now puzzling together, creating the bigger picture. That's what we've been doing all this time. Obviously, we was getting hints and tips from Bearable Guy. Long gone to some sort of degree, still throwing little bits out there, but actual solid facts. I mean, this is perfect. This now, it's absolutely perfect. You know, we're going to have banks using it by the end of this year. I personally think Santander is going to be that milestone bank to finally cross the line. I think they've been working with Ripple long enough now to I mean, they've got 50% of their books going through X-Current at the moment. I can't see why they wouldn't be inclined to obviously try the XRapid out. And I think when the OnePayFX app starts furthering out into different countries, I think we'll definitely see XRapid being used by Santander this year. I think that's a definite. Again, by next year, dozens of banks, fucking dozens of banks. We knew it. I mean, the banks are dropping one by one. And if you've ever watched videos on Suze, she's even stated it on there that banks can't afford to not use Ripple moving forwards because of the cost saving for the banks. They can just be more competitive in absolutely every aspect, whether it's savings accounts, mortgages, credit cards, better interest rates. You get the gist of where I'm coming from. We will really see the domino effects start to happen next year. I think once banks are sat on the sidelines as a sort of wait and see approach to see exactly how it'll work. But when you start seeing banks, you know, we've been seeing the results, you know, from MoneyGram, from all the other institutions that have been trialling XRapid, and there's not been a single bad thing to say. I mean, but how could there be a bad thing to say? From my perspective, and a lot of you people who are watching this, obviously you're in for Ripple, that's what you're in for, you already know it. But if there's nobody watching out there, just a little statement from myself. What Ripple have done in creating XRapid and the XRP ledger, it could potentially be the greatest piece of algorithm that has ever wrote in the entire world. It could be the world's greatest algorithm in respect of what it does. It's just unseen of at the moment because, like I say, we're all speculating now. Is it going to do this? Is it going to do that? But XRP, again, time after time after time, are just completing everything that they set out to accomplish. And they're doing it with great magnitude as well. You know, again, with the donation yesterday, we've seen them adding bank after bank after bank to X-Current. And all it takes is... What we're waiting for now is, it's simple, really. There's a lot of people who are not happy with the prices not going up at the moment. You know, we're getting good news after good news after good news after good news. Still yet no price movement. Honest to God, ladies and gentlemen, you should be happy about that. That's something you should be happy about. You've got more time to accumulate more XRP because I tell you what, the value of this token in the future is going to be incomprehensible from these videos that we're doing today. In fact, it's going to be absolutely beautiful to look back from 5 years' time to these photographs with such clarity. The way that I'm telling you this information with such certainty of where XRP, because I can see it. I'm a visionary. All it takes is imagination, and then obviously we've got working products. We've got probably one of the best companies that are utilising XRP to try and really power that ecosystem, really get it out there. Spring Initiative. I could go on forever, but I'm trying to keep it on the Brad Garlinghouse Money 2020. Obviously interview that we've just shown you there, but yeah, it's great. And another thing, I watched the interview from yesterday. It was more like a fireside chat one. And Brad Garlinghouse is when we talk of central banks, I always talk about the 40 to 50 central banks, and by God, does that get me happy knowing that we're working with 40 to 50 central banks. But he dropped a little bit of a breadcrumb yesterday, and he said that they're absolutely excited and really, you know, for the liquidity needs that it will be solving. It's unbelievable to actually think that the central banks are more excited about it than what I am, because believe me, I'm fucking excited about it. You better believe that. But for banks, central banks, it's the liquidity issue. It's a problem that's been around since 1974. It probably historically probably predates that, actually, in all honesty. But for the first time in life, we've got a new technological piece of utility asset that can just eliminate all liquidity needs. There's no need for the Nostrovostros, and for central banks to be bullish as fuck on it, for the IMF to be just putting statement after statement about positivity, about cryptocurrencies, what they're going to do. It's simple, ladies and gentlemen. If you bought XRP, you have done your job. That is it. There's nothing else you need to do now. The work is being done on the other side. But all you've got to think about is dozens of banks using XRP next year. Now, I knew, because I've watched interviews saying that we will be using them this year, but to claim dozens out, you know, that could be 30 to 40. It could even may well be the central banks themselves using it. I mean, like you say, the global remittance is a very, very big playground to play in. I'm not trying to say XRP is going to be the dominant form over there, but they're doing a very good job of cornering that market in my eyes. You know, there will be others, they will come along, other banks might use others, but I think in the masses, I definitely believe that XRP is, I think it's going to show the world exactly what blockchain is capable of, what cryptocurrencies or digital assets are capable of worldwide. And it's simple right now. The price might not be reflecting from all this good news, and everyone's like, Kurt, why is nothing happening? The price ain't going on. I'm losing faith. Don't lose faith. Just don't. Listen, price is temporarily, progress is permanent, and fuck me, is the progress going down here today. Listen, at the end of the day, it's very simple and very clear what we need. We need liquidity providers on an institutional level. We need regulation clarity, not just in Japan, but in the States, in the UK, worldwide. And it will come, you know, by 2019, I think we'll have a lot more regulation clarity than where we are today. But without that, of course, institutional money is going to be wary about just throwing the money and offloading it into it. Another point which I think people fail to pick up on is the fact that what about if a Japanese investor wants to throw 20 billion into XRP and then the price of Bitcoin suddenly drops by 30%. He's lost his investment, recouped against Bitcoin, and that's a risk on its own that maybe investors don't want to really sort of throw the money in masses yet because of that point. So listen, we need to decoup, we need regulations, we need liquidity providers, and every single one of the things that I'm speaking about is currently under progress. Listen, it's a waiting game, it's a patience game. I'm not saying you've got to sit here for the next 10 years. I'm saying just be patient for 18 months or 36 months. And believe me, there will be no questions about, oh, how come XRP is not going up in price? Listen, I don't know personally what's going to happen to the price. It is a mathematical equation on its own. It's not a simple sort of calculation in order to do it. It is sort of a wait and see approach for even ourselves. You know, it's all right in us being bullish, throwing out these $1,000 XRP, $500 XRP. I personally believe it can get there, but again, it is a more complex calculation. You know, we are talking a 3-second transaction, basically what is needed. So, you know, XRP won't be taking out the equation for 3 seconds, possibly a little bit longer, like say 2-3 minutes if it's included in that full transaction. But think about trillions passing through it, people, because I'm telling you, it's fucking looking that way. It's not like it's just a little test dummy this anymore now. It's grabbed the attention of the world. And believe me, the masses will start pouring in with interest soon. We've been doing this, me and Scott, for sort of 6 months now. I'm going to roll my hands up. I'm not no professional. You know, these people that have been in blockchain, in cryptocurrency since 2012 and probably reaped the rewards from Bitcoin. You know, decentralized TV's a perfect example of that. Peter, you know, he's got the Lamborghini in the shed, and fair play to him. Listen, I thought I came to this game too late when I got into XRP. I really thought it was over. I thought I missed a boat. I thought it's another fucking Instagram, another Facebook, another Twitter, another investment opportunity that I missed. And I did, I thought I missed it, but I tell you what, I look at it now, and we've not even got regulations, we've not even got institution liquidity providers, we've not even got banks currently using it. We're at the fucking start of the gates, people. Listen, the boat in the harbour has not even fucking set off a sail, and believe me, it will do, and it's going to do it. And when it does it, it's going to be great because of the facts, obviously. For me to come out and start doing videos like this, it's took me a lot of fucking bollocks at the end of the day, you know, thinking, oh, my mate's going to start picking at me head, you know, for what I'm doing, because, like I say, from where I'm from, this isn't really the type of thing that people do. It was very nervous for me. Every time that I get behind this camera, I'm feeling the pressure to try and put good content out to you guys. And I just thought, listen, I'll just be myself. I'll just speak about it the way that I feel about it. I'm not trying to mislead anyone. I'm not trying to say fucking buy as much XRP as you can, but secretly I am. But yeah, it's not like it's for my own agenda. I'm just trying to do it for the greater benefit of other people. You know, it's an opportunity of a fucking lifetime. Don't miss out on it. Listen, cryptocurrency and blockchain, it's getting very bullish sentiments throughout the board. When me and Scott started doing this, we was in a bear market. We preached about XRP coming all the way down from $3.80 to all the way down to 46 cents. And I preached the fucking life out of it. And you know what I mean? That takes a lot on its own. You know, it's like catching a falling knife, if you want to call it that way. But listen, I know where this is going, and I know there's a lot of people out there that know where this is going. And I'm just trying to educate the people who maybe, you know, if there's somebody who's watching this that has never watched it before, and is sort of thinking like, what's happening? What's he talking about? You need to look into Ripple. You need to look into XRP. You need to get doing your research. It's all about research. Listen, I don't know all this information for nothing. I woke up last night, 3 o'clock in the morning. I had a little chat with Robert Lee on Twitter. I watched a few videos. I fell back asleep. That's how fucking hooked I am. I wake up, you know, I need a little drink in the middle of the night. Oh, look at that. There's a few more YouTube videos for me to watch. That's what I'm at all fucking day. And I try and relate that information onto you guys the best that I can, yeah. I'm not the most professional. I swear a lot. It's just who I am as a person, the background that I come from. And listen, we've all got different opinions, and that's the great thing about it. We've got people from the States doing it. We've got people from the UK doing it. We've got people from Australia that are doing it. Listen, it's just fucking, it's rippling. The ripple effect is underway. Believe me, that domino effect, when that starts to fall, it's going to fall down thick and fast. Once we've got liquidity for institutions, once we've got regulations, and once we've got fucking banks that are about to start sending this, believe me, your opportunity will have gone. Don't complain about the prices of today, people. Honestly, do not complain. Fucking take advantage of them. Thanks again for watching. You know, if you like the video, give us a like. Obviously, it helps us in obviously getting it exposed out to more people. Follow us on Twitter, Love for Crypto. That's usually where it's all going off. Got a great little XRP community on there. If you've got any questions, anything you want to ask, you can always relay it onto there. Obviously, we'll always answer your questions in the comment section anyway. But yeah, just want to say thanks for all for everyone's support. You know, we're nearly at 2,500 followers. Never thought we'd get to that, people, but it looks like we've picked the right community to be involved in, and you just want to say massive thanks for everyone that's obviously shown us that support. It encourages us to, you know, further keep doing what we're doing, which is try to educate you guys. We started off as a cryptocurrency channel. I personally just can't stay away from fucking XRP, and I think it's just great to see other people out there that are starting to have the same sort of, yeah, just sort of same sort of fucking approach that we're having. But yeah, again, thanks for your time. See you later.
Do you feel the vibes?